Zubaba Banco Gagaga Coat because I control a Zubaba Knight. Okay, why not? And his effect is I can target a Go-Go-Go or Dodo monster in my graveyard, and special summon it, and then I can only exceed summon for the rest of the turn.
But you do not have one of those.
Not yet! We'll see. And because this is level 4, because it took Gagaga Coat's level, we're going to overlay these two into Mathmech Alan Bershian. Ooh, Goldred. Very exciting.
That makes it even better.
Yeah, to some people. I don't know who, but Alan Bershian has an effect that when he's summoned, I can detach 2 materials from him to add a Mathmech card from my deck to my hand. And also, I can tribute a monster to special summon a level 4 Mathmech monster from my hand or graveyard. So I would like to detach 2, add a Mathmech, which will be super factorial to our hand.
Yep, I was kind of hoping you wouldn't do that.
We're getting there. We're making it happen. Next, we're going to use his first effect to tribute himself, and he's going to special summon back Nabla. Ooh, we haven't seen this one on the field yet. Nabla has an effect that I can tribute a Cyberse monster to special summon a Mathmech from my deck. I would like to do that, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
So there goes our Nabla, and here comes our Diameter. Ooh, so cool. That's how you would describe this? Cool, right?
That's what I've been saying for years.
I built this deck for you, Josh.
I really appreciate that, yes.
Diameter has an effect when he's normal summoned, but that doesn't matter right now because he's special summoned. And he also gives an Xyz monster an effect when he's attached to it, but we're going to detach him. It doesn't matter. I promise.
It's going to matter on my turn.
Yeah,
we're going to know. I've been here before.
We're going to overlay into number 39, Utopia Double.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, right? Now things get a little freaky, I think. Utopia Double has the effect to detach and add a double or nothing from deck to hand, as well as special summon from the extra deck another Utopia Xyz monster on top of this by ranking up into it, and it doubles its attack, but it can't attack directly. So I would like to detach my Diameter to add a double or nothing, and also rank up. I'm going to be honest, I bet you don't know what we're ranking up to.
I'm guessing Hope Harbinger?
You would think this is Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray.
Oh yeah, that is Utopia. Hope Harbinger isn't even a Utopia yet.
You don't even know what my cards do.
That's why I'm reading them.
Leo Utopia Ray has the effect that you can attach to equip a ZW monster from your deck or extra deck to this card, and you can't negate that effect, just in case you were
I was not going to.
And also, if it's equipped with a ZW monster card, I can quick effect to target an effect monster you control to negate its effects and have its attack. So I would like to detach to equip it with ZW Pegasus Twin Saber from my deck.
Does that give it any special abilities?
Oh, special abilities are sure what it does. It gives Leo Utopia Ray 1,000 attack, and once per turn, I can negate a monster effect on your field. So that's two monster negates.
Okay.
Count them. Count them.
Not so bad.
2 monster negates and 0 Genesis points. That's what we're working with. So I will set a card.
A mysterious card.
Could be anything.
Okay.
And set a second card, even though I don't think the double or nothing really is going to do anything at this point. And that's going to be it for me, I think.
Okay, well, for 0 points, that's really not so bad.
It could be a lot worse, you know. It's definitely far from full power, but it's something, I guess.
Well, I'm going to try to go into my main phase. So you have 2 monster negations, as well as the trap card, which is honestly the biggest problem here, I suppose, because that's going to summon a big Mathmech that's going to basically send cards to the graveyard and negate a card.
Mm-hmm. Watch out.
The good thing is I can start with some spell cards here. The first card I'm going to use cannot be in your deck because it certainly has some points. I'm going to start things off with 5-3.
That is a card I cannot play. You're right.
I think it's very funny that you can play Pot of Greed in Genesis format in some decks.
It's all we've ever wanted, right? That's all any Yu-Gi-Oh players ever want.
This card allows me to draw 2 cards from the top of my deck.
It certainly does.
The fact that your deck is 0 points is very chill because then I don't have to worry about Joel and Lockbird.
You know I don't have any hand traps.
Straight into the main phase to draw some cards.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Okay, it is time that I reveal the deck that I'm playing, and I'm gonna do this by activating Radiant Typhoon Manifestation.
Oh, Radiant Typhoon. I might be in trouble here, yeah.
Today I brought Radiant Typhoon, one of my favorite decks in Genesis format. It's pretty strong. It all revolves around Mystical Space Typhoon, a very old school card that they've made an archetype for now. You've got a bunch of quick play spell cards that all trigger all of your effects. Got a bunch of small Radiant Typhoon monsters that help you search all of the pieces, and a couple of big Radiant Typhoon boss monsters that special summon themselves after you activate quick play spell cards. So it should be a lot of fun. Let's see how it goes. This is going to allow me to choose one of 2 effects. Either I'm going to send the Radiant Typhoon monster from my deck to the graveyard, or I'm going to add a Mystical Space Typhoon from my deck or graveyard to my hand. And for each of the Radiant Typhoon quick plays, I can use both of those effects every turn. So if I had a second copy of this, I could use each effect once. I'm going to choose to try and add Mystical Space Typhoon from my deck to my hand. Because that's what my archetype is built around. And I also believe that your Utopia Ray loses the effect to negate if I just destroy the Pegasus Twin Saber that's equipped to it.
Uh-oh. He's found the hole in my strategy.
Now, remind me, Leo Ray and Twin Saber only negate monster effects on the field, right?
That is true, sadly.
So my deck specializes in triggering effects off of quick play spell cards, and so I do have a trigger effect on the resolution of my own manifestation, which is I'm going to attempt to trigger Radiant Typhoon Crocia in my hand, which is going to special summon itself after a quick play spell has been activated, and on summon I get to add 2 cards from my deck or graveyard to my hand, 1 Radiant Typhoon card and 1 Mystical Space Typhoon.
That's like your second Pot of Greed this turn. What's up with that?
And because you could negate it if it hits the field, I'm going to chain the Mystical Space Typhoon while it's still in hand. I'm going to try to destroy that Pegasus Twin Saber so you can't negate it when it hits the board.
You know, sadly, there isn't really much I can do about that. I really wish there was, but you will destroy Twin Saber, and I will lose both of my monster negates at once. Uh-oh.
Once that hits the board, I'm going to trigger its effect to try and add 2 cards from my deck to my hand.
Now feels like as good a time as any. We're going to activate Mathmech Superfactorial.
Okay.
For anyone unfamiliar, this is going to summon 3 Mathmechs from my graveyard with different names, and then I will Xyz summon a Mathmech monster using those monsters as material.
I wonder what that's going to make.
Yep. I wonder. Here we go. We have 3 Mathmechs, and they're all going on top of each other in one big overlay.
I love when they do that.
For Prime Mathmech, Laplacian.
Alright, and I'm going to resolve my Crocia and add a Mystical Space Typhoon as well as a Radiant Typhoon.
Very good.
And then I believe you have a trigger effect.
And now we have some triggers. So Laplacian is going to activate. When he is summoned, I can detach 1 to 3 materials from him to activate these effects. So we're going to detach 2 materials, and we're going to send a random card from your hand to the graveyard, and send a monster you control to the graveyard. We can say goodbye to Circular and Nabla, and now you have so many cards in your hand. Look at this. This is crazy.
It's just 7.
It's 7. 7's way too many.
So the Crocia goes to the grave from the field zone,
along with this card.
Ooh, unlucky for you. That card has an effect to summon itself from the graveyard.
Wow.
I'll tell you about that later.
Great. Can't wait.
Alright, may I continue?
Go for it.
Alright, and now you do have a negate ready to go. Since I have Mystical Space Typhoon in my graveyard, all of the small Radiant Typhoons can just special summon themselves from the hand. So I'm going to special summon that Radiant Typhoon when that I just added, and attempt to activate its effect, which is to add a Radiant Typhoon spell trap or Mystical Space Typhoon from my deck to my hand.
That's okay with me.
I am going to choose Radiant Typhoon Manifestation again.
So you can use the other effect.
That is right.
Oh no!
I'm going to follow it up with another copy of Mystical Space Typhoon that my Crocia added, and I'm going to attempt to, I presume it's just the double or nothing you said, but I just want to make sure.
Haha! That's where you'd be wrong, because it's actually a Cosmic Cyclone. And I'll activate it to negate your MST.
That's not how that works.
That's not how that works. It will go to the grave.
But banishing is actually not too bad because
I mean, it's something to banish one of your MSTs. The whole deck revolves around it. So,
well, a Mystical Space Typhoon has still been activated, and that is the trigger condition to special summon Radiant Typhoon Varurun from my graveyard. This is going to summon itself, and on the field, while I have a Mystical Space Typhoon in the graveyard, it is a monster negate. And if I have two Mystical Space Typhoon in my graveyard, which I don't because you cosmicked it, it could even destroy the card after I negate it.
whew, close one.
Alright, next up, I am going to activate a copy of Radiant Typhoon Chant to add a level 4 or lower Radiant Typhoon monster from my deck to my hand.
And I'm going to sit here and do some mental math and figure out if I'm dead soon.
I'm adding a copy of Radiant Typhoon Megala. On the resolution of a quick play that has been activated, I'm going to activate Radiant Typhoon Phonix, the Great Flame, to summon itself from my hand. This guy's very powerful, 3000 attack, and on resolution of a quick play spell being activated, I can target 2 cards you control and shuffle them back into the deck.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to follow that up with a special summon of Radiant Typhoon Megala from my hand, because Mystical Space Typhoon is still in the graveyard, and you also control those spell traps, which is the other condition. This lets me summon a Radiant Typhoon monster from my deck with a different name from the monsters I control after I activate a Radiant Typhoon quick play spell card, which is what I'm going to attempt to do next by activating Radiant Typhoon Vision. This either lets me search for Mystical Space Typhoon or draw 2 cards and then discard a Radiant Typhoon card or a quick play spell, which is what I'm trying to do.
That will happen.
I'm going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to discard Radiant Typhoon Eldam, and then I have some triggers. I have Radiant Typhoon Phonix, the Great Flame, to target these 2 monsters, so shuffle them back into the deck. And I have Radiant Typhoon Megala to try and summon a Radiant Typhoon from my deck that I don't currently control.
I mean, it's looking pretty grim. We do have our final line of defense, which is our diameter as material gives Laplacian the effect that it can negate one of your effects. So we can try and do that, but
I have a monster negate too. We can play the same game.
yeah, so that will fizzle out. These will both shuffle away very sadly.
You can try to summon him again next turn.
Oh yeah, next turn?
You don't have a next turn, I was joking.
Yeah, don't give me hope like that, you know?
Megala resolves and summons Eldam from my deck because I don't currently control it, and that is going to add a Mystical Space Typhoon or Radiant Typhoon monster from my deck to my hand. I'm going to add another copy of Radiant Typhoon Protea for, I don't know when, but I'll have it.
You know I have no hand traps, so it's looking pretty wide open.
I am going to activate Radiant Typhoon Manifestation for its other effect, which is to send a Radiant Typhoon monster from my deck to the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to send another copy of Radiant Typhoon Phonix, the Great Flame.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is Genesis format and I don't have an extra monster zone, I'm going to need to make some room here. I am, however, locked into wind monsters only, because that's what some of the Radiant Typhoons say. So I'm going to overlay these 2 into a copy of Totem Bird.
Nice.
Then I am going to activate Radiant Typhoon Vision for the other effect to search a Mystical Space Typhoon. There it is. I am then going to set 1 card into my spell trap zone and proceed to the battle phase.
That will happen.
And this is going to be 1600 damage. This is going to be 1900 damage. This is going to be 3000 damage, which should be 6500 plus the 1000 you've paid for your Cosmic Cyclone. I'm alive? You are alive until I'm going to do something which I think is very funny now. I'm going to activate Mystical Space Typhoon in the battle phase to destroy my own set card.
Yes.
The set card I'm destroying is another copy of Pot of Greed, which I What that's going to do is it's going to let me trigger my Radiant Typhoon Phonix, the Great Flame in the graveyard. Funnily enough, the effect of the 2 big ones to summon from hand and from grave are not once per turn, like they're different effects.
Once each,
Basically. So I've summoned this from my hand when I activated a quick play spell. Now I can summon this one from my graveyard because I've activated specifically Mystical Space Typhoon. And this is going to attack you for 3000.
No! How could you? I'm gonna be honest. This was a fool's errand. What was I thinking? 0 points versus a pro player. I didn't stand a chance. But that's not it. I haven't had enough. I have an even better idea.
Oh, really?
I'm back! And I'm better than ever. I want a rematch.
Have you upgraded your deck, huh?
I've upgraded, and this time I definitely won't lose, because I'll be playing with the advantage now.
Can I go first at least?
Yeah, sure. I think that's only fair.
Nice.
Good luck. You'll need it.
I'll try my best. Good luck to you. Alright, now that you have what I assume is a bunch of points in your Genesis deck, I guess I'll have to respect the little Droll and Lockbird a little bit. So I'll kick things off with Radiant Typhoon Vision in my draw phase.
In draw phase. Ooh, this guy came to play. Actions at the gate. Well, I have hand traps in my deck now, and I would like to activate Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Not today, my friend. I will negate your search.
Alright, sure. I won't draw cards. But since Ash Blossom does not negate activation, it just negates the effect, I am still going to trigger my Radiant Typhoon Crocia.
This guy, huh?
Got more hand traps for that?
I don't for that one, no, sadly.
I'm going to activate this effect to try and add 2 cards from my deck to my hand.
You know, I think that probably would have been better for the Ash Blossom. If only I could play 2 in one turn.
I'm going to add a Mystical Space Typhoon and a Radiant Typhoon Chant. Still in my draw phase, I'm going to activate that Radiant Typhoon Chant to try and add a level 4 or lower Radiant Typhoon monster. I'll add Radiant Typhoon Eldam from my deck to my
Ultra
hand.
Super Hero.
Then, because I've activated a Radiant Typhoon Quick Play spell, I'm going to summon Radiant Typhoon Varuroot as well, and then I'll proceed to my main phase.
Jealousy is an
before
obvious
main phase,
choice.
gotta love it.
I'll then proceed to
I
special
could
summon
literally
Eldam
just
from
play
my
the
hand and try
Yuzuki
to add a Radiant Typhoon
Ultra
monster from
Superheroes
my deck
thing.
to my hand.
All good.
That adds Swen. Anything on resolution in the main phase.
There's not.
Okay, no Droll and Lockbird. Nice. Actually, I'm not going to search too many more times here anyways, so I'll special summon the Swen, and this is going to add a Radiant Typhoon spell or trap. And with that, I will add another copy of Radiant Typhoon Chant, which I will then proceed to activate. This time around, I'm going to have to add a Mystical Space Typhoon.
Must be nice that all your cards are like 2 cards in one.
It is really nice when you draw like also the same card twice and you can use both effects. I'm going to chain Mystical Space Typhoon onto my Radiant Typhoon Chant though, because all of the Radiant Typhoon spells and traps actually have the nice ability that if you destroy them with Mystical Space Typhoon, they reset themselves from the graveyard.
But if you chain Mystical Space Typhoon to that, it's going to negate it, right?
Right. Gonna get destroyed. I'm gonna add another Mystical Space Typhoon from my deck to my hand, and on a new chain, it's going to activate in the graveyard to reset itself.
Pretty good.
Then I am going to overlay Eldam and Swen for a copy of Totem Bird. Totem Bird requires 2 level 3 wind monsters, and when a spell trap is activated, I can detach both of its materials and negate that activation. I will then set 1, 2, and activate a Cheeky Mirage of Nightmare. Which is a card that they've reduced to 0 points, and funnily enough, it is still banned in advanced format, and I am 100% convinced that they could bring it back and it wouldn't do anything.
I kind of agree.
But in this particular deck, I think it's very fun, because this card in your standby phase allows me to draw until I have 4 cards in my hand, but then in my next standby phase, I would have to randomly discard the same amount of cards that I had drawn, which typically it was good once upon a time, but nowadays it'd be very slow, and you would also have a very hard time realizing the card advantage from it because you have to discard the cards. The trick has always been draw the cards and then destroy it with Mystical Space Typhoon, and that's why I think it's very fitting that this deck plays it.
Built perfectly for Radiant Typhoon.
So here I'm going to end my turn, and you may draw.
I will go to my turn, and I will draw.
Let me know when you're in the standby phase.
I'm in the standby phase.
I'll activate Mirage Nightmare.
That sounds good to me.
Alright, I'll draw 4 cards.
I'm going to start off with another new addition to my deck that now has lots and lots of points. It's Super Polymerization. We're going to try to fuse with your Totem Bird and Crocia.
I can't do anything about that, yeah.
And we're going to make Garura.
Oh, they made Super Poly free now? No discard?
Oh, yeah. I mean, basically, because I will discard my other copy.
Oh, okay.
Ash Blossom was sitting in my hand. Garura just has the effect that it doubles the battle damage you take from it, and if it goes to the graveyard, I get to draw a card. That's it.
That's good. I see you put a lot of point cards in your deck.
You might say I put 5 times the amount of point cards in my deck.
500.
I've opened my Millennium Eye and I've realized. Of course, I was going to lose. 0 points against a pro? What was I thinking? That's ridiculous. But now, why play with 100 points when you can play with 500? We've upgraded our automat strategy to include all the meta Ryzeal cards along with a bunch of staple hand traps. This time, Josh is going to have to really work for it if he wants this win.
Now, the cool thing about Radiant Typhoon, however, is that they don't only trigger off of my own quick play spell cards. So, because you've activated Super Polymerization, I'm going to activate Radiant Typhoon Phonics in my hand to summon itself.
Ooh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Alright, there he is. Now, if another quick play spell is activated, I can activate its effect to shuffle up to 2 cards that you control back into the deck.
But I'm sure that won't happen, right? What are the chances?
It might happen. I don't know. We'll see. No promise.
I will try to keep things moving, even though I feel like it might not work out. We're going to normal summon Sword Ryzeal. This card has the effect that when it's normal summoned, I can add a light Pyro from my deck to my hand.
I see you have definitely upgraded your rank 4 strategy.
That's right. Automat is just like baby Ryzeal, if you really think about it, right?
The Sword Ryzeal is fine, yeah.
I think here we're going to add Ice Ryzeal to our hand.
Even though you've already normal summoned, okay?
Yeah, sure. We're going to try to see what we can do here. We're going to actually send Garura, and we're going to special summon Ice Ryzeal.
Oh, okay, I see. Right. That's one way to get around that.
Ice Ryzeal is going to lock us into rank 4 Xyz monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, and then Garura is going to draw us 1 card.
That is fine. I would like to activate my Radiant Typhoon Chant.
Ooh.
To try and add a Radiant Typhoon monster, level 4 or lower, from my deck to my hand.
I guess that's fine.
I'm adding a Radiant Typhoon Megala. I won't do anything this turn, it's just follow up for next turn. The reason I did that is because it allows me to trigger my Phonics to target both of your monsters and put them back into the deck, because I don't want to deal with no rank 4s around here.
It does. It does. I mean, I guess there's not much I can do about that, so they're going to go. They're going to the deck. See you later. We're not done yet, because I also have an X Ryzeal.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you wouldn't have a way to extend that.
Yeah. We're not giving up without a fight this time, let me tell you.
Yeah, I can tell, yeah.
X Ryzeal special summons himself by sending an Xyz monster from my extra deck to the graveyard, and also locks us into rank 4 Xyz for the turn. And then we can add a Fire Thunder monster from our deck to our hand. So we will be sending Meteorologic Aggregator to the graveyard to special summon X, and then we will go Chainlink 1 to add a Fire Thunder monster to our hand, and Chainlink 2, when Aggregator is sent to the graveyard, he's going to negate a monster's effect that you control, which, if I'm remembered correctly, this has a monster negate. Yep, so I would like to negate its effects.
Yep, I mean, I could chain it, but that would only negate the Aggregator, and then my once per turn will be used anyway, so you're good.
Great. So we will add a Fire Thunder to our hand. So we're going to add another Sword.
He's back.
He's back. And because we didn't use his effect to special summon himself, we can special summon him because we have a Ryzeal monster in our field or graveyard. And now I'm going to do what Ryzeal does best. We're going to overlay, and we're going to make a Ryzeal Duo Drive.
Sure.
Duo Drive is the bread and butter, meat, potatoes, gets me to my full meal deal. He's going to detach 2 materials to add 2 Ryzeal cards with different names to my turn.
And if I remember correctly, that is not a cost to detach, right? You have to detach during the effect in order to get your search.
That is part of the effect.
Okay, well then on summon I have nothing.
Cool. I would like to activate its effect.
I would like to pop it with Offerings to the Doomed, a very old school card.
Wow. Yeah, look at that artwork.
Yeah, it's a quick play spell that destroys a face-up monster, and then I have to skip my next draw phase. And the reason this deck plays it is just because it's a very easy to use quick play spell to trigger my effects.
Well, that's really bad for me, actually. My Duo Drive is now gone. And with that, I think my plays are finished. I have nothing left.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna skip my draw phase because of offerings to the doomed. Now is where I would have to discard all 4 cards in my hand for Mirage of Nightmare, but I am going to use Mystical Space Typhoon on it, which is why I added it last turn.
Like, Pot of Greeds isn't enough. You also have to go +4. Like, yeah, whatever. Okay.
I love this deck. Okay. I'm going to go into my main phase, and I'm going to special summon Radiant Typhoon Megala, since you control no spell traps. And then I'm going to activate Radiant Typhoon Chant to add a Radiant Typhoon monster, level 4 or lower, from my deck to my hand.
Sounds good.
I'm going to add Radiant Typhoon Eldan, and then I'm going to trigger, because a Radiant Typhoon Quick Play is activated, my Megala to summon one from the deck that I don't currently control, which is going to be another copy of Radiant Typhoon Floatia, which is then going to activate to try and add, once again, 2 cards from my deck to my hand. 1 Radiant Typhoon card, where I'll just add a Radiant Typhoon Phonics, and 1 Mystical Space Typhoon. Alright, let me see how much damage we got. Gonna continue by special summoning Radiant Typhoon Eldam, searching another Radiant Typhoon monster, which is gonna be Radiant Typhoon Swen. Then I'll overlay Eldam at Megala. Once again, I am locked into wins by Crocia and Megala. So I'm just going to make a Cicada King, which is a monster negation on the field only, though. I'll proceed by special summoning Radiant Typhoon Swen, searching for a Radiant Typhoon spell trap, which is going to be Radiant Typhoon Mandate, which is the card that makes MST negate, which I think is very funny.
That is very funny.
When you activate Mystical Space Typhoon, you can target a card and negate its effects, so you basically turn MST into negate.
Oh, Konami. What a bunch of beavers, huh?
And if my math is not failing me, which as the math mag expert, I do like to think my math is correct. This should be 1,200 plus 1,600 for 28, plus 2,200 for exactly 5,000, plus 3,000 for exactly 8,000.
Oh!
So I'm going to try to go into my battle phase here.
Damn you, Josh! How could you? I had 500 points!
This deck is pretty good.
Oh, is it? Is it really?
Oh god, you have another one.
I'm not done yet! Now we're serious.
Okay, what have you brought this time?
Josh, I've sold my soul to the gods of Genesis.
How many points was it worth?
Unlimited.
Okay. Oh god.
That's right.
Oh my
Unlimited
god.
Power. We have every busted spell and trap card you can think of, along with Rise Zeal Engine, and we've even thrown in a Mitsurugi engine on top, because, well, we can. Let's try to see you stop this one, Josh.
I'm excited to see what you have, and also afraid.
We're going to start off with the Forceful Sentry.
Oh, man.
I'm going to look at your hand, and I'm going to pick a card to shuffle back into your deck.
Sure,
Sure.
Miko, and even though it makes no
Ooh,
sense.
look at all of these goodies.
Can I keep Pot of Greed?
I mean, it almost feels correct for you to keep Pot of Greed when you have these 2 cards, right?
This is basically Pot of Greed.
I mean, this is Pot of Greed with a bunch of other effects, so...
Okay.
You know what? You already got 1 Pot of Greed. We're going to get rid of it.
Oh, man.
No more Pot of Greeds allowed.
Okay, well, that's all 100 of your points gone, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Whatever shall I do? Did I say no more Pot of Greeds allowed? I meant no more Pot of Greeds for you. I activate Pot of Greed to draw 2 cards.
Yeah, sure.
Now that I know your hand, I know I'm free to do whatever I want.
Oh, yeah, right. The best part of Forceful Sentry is no troll and lockbird.
Yeah, that's right. You know what another one of my favorite old school cards is that is incredibly unfair? It's called Delinquent Duo! I'm going to pay 1,000 life points so you discard a random card, and then you discard 1 more card of your choice.
Okay, dude.
So, we're going to get rid of this one.
That's not my Cosmic Cycle. I barely have any cards left.
And just like that, you're down to 2 hand cards.
Yeah, I'll get rid of Offerings to the Doomed.
Cool. So we're going to keep the fun rolling.
Another duo?
Not quite, but a card you could argue is as good as Delinquent Duo. We have X-Ryzeal.
Okay. Yeah.
So we will send to the graveyard probably just our Eclipse Twin. It might come up, you never know. And then we will add a Fire Thunder. I bet I know what that will be. Sword Ryzeal.
No troll for me.
No trolls allowed. Then we will special summon Sword Ryziel to add a light pyro. We've seen this all before. We're getting Ice Ryziel, which we will then normal summon to special summon one more Ryziel monster, which is going to be Star Ryziel. That's a new one, isn't it? Technically the newest.
It's newer than Forceful Sentry.
This card, when it's special summoned, will set a Ryziel spell or trap from our deck, which is only really one that we ever care about, which is going to be the Cross. It's going to be set, but then we're just going to activate it anyway, so there you go. Now, let's do some XZ summons, shall we?
Yep.
We're going to make our favorite Duo Drive. We've seen him before, except this time I'm going to get to resolve his effect, right?
Yes, you will. I mean, you know my hand, I can't do anything.
Those two cards aren't going to do anything. We'll detach two, and we will add from our deck to our hand a Node Ryziel and another copy of Ice Ryziel, I think. We will overlay again and bring out our big bad Ryziel Detonator. When he's summoned, he's going to attach a card from our graveyard as material, and he can quick effect detach to destroy a card on the field. So, we will attach him with Eclipse Twins.
Yep.
Wow, how convenient. Eclipse Twins has the effect that when it's sent to the graveyard, I can summon two other rank 4 or lower Xyz monsters in my graveyard, special summon one of them, and attach the other one as material. So, for those following along, it's basically a second life for our detonator when we detach it. Well, look at this.
Are we done yet?
That's not too bad, right, Josh?
Yeah. No, you know what? Actually, if I had more cards in hand, it'd be nice, but...
You could break this. I believe in you. You're a good player.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think we're done quite yet.
Okay, I was afraid you would say that.
We're going to special summon Node Ryziel, because we have an Xyz monster on our field or in our graveyard. Node Ryziel has the effect that we can send a card from our hand or field to the graveyard and special summon a Ryziel monster from our graveyard. So I would like to send Duo Drive to special summon Swordback.
Yep.
We will do that. Then we're going to overlay again. Let's do some more banned cards, shall we? We have King of the Feral Imps.
Oh, no. What is that going to search?
You know what?
No.
We're going to detach a material from this card, and we're going to add a reptile monster from our deck to our hand.
Not him.
I bet you can guess what it is with infinite points. It's going to be Havakiri. Oh, my, how we missed you, Havakiri. Just kidding.
What do you mean missed? He's never been gone.
If anything, this is just proving why all these cards should have so many points, right?
Yes.
We're going to activate the effect of Havakiri. So you can reveal this card in your hand to special summon a Mitsurugi monster from the deck, and then tribute one monster I control. So we will look for our Mitsurugi Saji, but I think we need a little bit of board space here, so we're going to do something actually unconventional, and I think we're actually just going to tribute the King of Feral Imps instead. Then we activate the effect of our Saji. When this card's special summoned or attributed, I can add a Mitsurugi spell trap from my deck to my hand. So we're going to go find ourselves a Mitsurugi Ritual. Ooh, let's keep it going.
So many points you've just gone through, by the way.
It's got to be about 1,000 by now, I think, something like that. And we're not even done yet. This is what it feels like to have unlimited power, Josh. I may have sold my soul, but it was all worth it. To activate Mitsurugi Ritual. We're going to ritual summon a reptile ritual monster from our hand by tributing monsters from our hand, deck, or field. Wow. What's better than playing one meta deck? Playing two meta decks on top of each other, all of them. So we are going to send our Ameza and Kusanagi to special summon, ritual summon, our Havakiri. And now we have more triggers. Trigger. So basically, our Ameza is going to add a monster. Kusanagi is going to add a spell back from the graveyard, which will be...
Kind of quite a lot.
So we will do that. And we will get ourselves another copy of Havakiri. Wow! I have a ritual spell in my hand again. Cool! We're going to activate Mitsurugi Ritual. And this time we're going to tribute our Havakiri from the field to make some room. And we're going to ritual summon from the deck a Murakumo. Murakumo has the effect that when it's special summoned, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls, and if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can quick effect to make them discard a card, otherwise the effect is negated. So because we tributed Habakiri, it's going to activate. We can bring it back to the field. I don't really want to do that. I'm trying to make some room for something you might see in a minute.
Okay, but you can still search.
But I can still search, and I will get another Mitsurugi spell, which will be the Mitsurugi Prayers.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're cooking. We're going to activate Mitsurugi Prayers. So this has two effects. If you tribute a monster when you activate it, you get to do both. So I'm going to tribute Murakumo to add a Mitsurugi monster from deck to hand, and also take 800 damage and special summon a Mitsurugi monster back from my graveyard.
Okay.
So we will get back a very unassuming one of the level 4. Okay. And we will add another Habakiri to it. Just because we can. And now, because we tributed our Murakumo, it's going to activate, and it's going to add another Prayers to our hand. Just like that. And then also resummon itself. As if it wasn't doing enough. Wow, look at all these cards I have.
Look at all these cards I have.
Exactly. Only gets worse for you, I'm afraid. We're going to tribute our Murakumo to special summon Ice Rise Eel.
Okay.
And now things get really, really funny. We're going to overlay our 3 level 4s into a fan favorite Exile monster. Number 16, Shockmaster. This beautiful card has the absolutely bonkers effect that once per turn you detach an Exile material to declare a card type, either monster, spell, or trap, and that type of card can't be activated or activate its effects until the end of your opponent's next turn.
Awesome.
What a card. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's better than 1 Shockmaster? Maybe 2.
Come on, no.
We're going to activate Soul Charge.
Dude.
So we're going to take a bunch of damage, 1,000 life points for every monster that we can special summon from our graveyard.
How many points is this deck?
And then sadly, I can't conduct my battle phase.
Oh no.
I told you, I sold my soul for infinite points from the Genesis gods, and I wasn't kidding. So we will bring back 3 more level 4 monsters. And overlay,
Come on, man.
into a second copy of number 16 Shockmaster, which, by the way, does not have a hard once per turn. On an effect this good, you can actually use multiple copies.
Well, to be fair, the one that hurts the most is always the first one.
That's right. And I think we're almost done.
Oh, really?
Very close. We're going to activate one more old school card that is absolutely insane. It's called Last Will.
Look, I'm just here for the cinema, honestly. I know I'm not winning this game.
Absolute cinema.
What is Last Will summoning?
Last Will is going to special summon a monster with an attack of 1,500 points or less from our deck because a monster on our side of the field went to the graveyard this turn. What an activation.
Yeah, it's a crazy condition. Very difficult to fulfill, yeah.
So we are going to special summon, I think you can probably guess, based on how this deck is operating at this point, what could be coming. It's a Fossil Dyna.
Okay, dude. Just in case I was about to do something.
Just in case, you never know what might happen. Fossil Dyna says either player can special summon monsters. So, we are going to set 2 cards. We're going to activate number 16 Shockmaster, and we are going to declare you can't use spells on your turn.
Yep.
And then we're going to activate our other number 16 Shockmaster, and we're going to declare you can't use monster effects.
Yeah. Okay, I won't.
And just like that, we're going to pass the turn.
Okay. I'll draw a card for turn. Stand by main, anything.
I mean, go for it. Try it. See what happens. I can't do anything. You can't play any cards.
I'll set 2 cards. And pass my turn.
Great. I'll draw from mine. Well, I think you're in trouble, my friend.
I think so too.
I would like to activate Shockmaster once again, saying you can't use spells.
Well, I guess I'll chain my Radiant Typhoon manifestation to try and send the Radiant Typhoon from my deck to the graveyard.
Problem is
will
search
you now?
quality.
That's very interesting. Because
Yeah.
I also
My
have a
white
trap
are
card
kind of
set
just there
called
because
Imperial Order.
Okay, dude.
well,
This card
I
negates
need
all
what
spell
I need
effects.
the
Just in
white
case.
list is
double
good, but
spell negate.
they're not that
I mean,
good.
I guess I can chain my Radiant Typhoon chant, but it doesn't do anything. So, you have it. Yeah.
And you get hit for 12 billion damage, unlimited power. I can finally say I beat a Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro.
And it was a fair match. Yeah.
It was a fair match. All 3 games were completely fair.
Yeah.
Josh, thanks so much for doing this. It was a lot of fun. You can find his stuff all over the place. It'll all be linked. Check his stuff out. And, yeah,
What
stay tuned
the
to Card
actual
Market
hell
for
am I
more
looking at
ridiculous
here?
gimmick duels like this one. Yeah, crazy stuff, right?
Is that a fucking demon signy?
Would you call that playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
Somewhat.
It's close. It's almost Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's amazing. How something.
YouTube, welcome to the top 16 of the Meta Weekly every single week, bro. We're starting this off with 2 Titans, the top 2 decks. Yummy at the bottom with Draco Tail at the top. Now Yummy is using Mitsurugi, and they also have the combo of potentially going into Sprite Elf, making the Herald of Arclight untargetable, thus a major floodgate against Draco Tail, as all of their fusion materials will get banished instead of being sent to the grave, and none of them will trigger. And with this not being targetable means the Arthalion cannot return it back.
This can only be Slug winner. And you're looking at it. Let's go.
Begin. Prayers on the draw phase, searching for the Habakiri here. We're going to try to activate the Habakiri, successfully doing so as we summon a Saji from the deck. Under the effect of Maxi, now will the Ash negate Saji, and now we have a Nibiru. Another card to further help us stop the opponent from ending on a Herald of Arclight. That's the core goal for Mobile X here. Are we setting then passing? Yes, we are. We said we're trying to end. The Urgula is going to wipe away the prayers at the end of the main phase. This is it for Yummy. Boy, this did not look good. Maxi happened. All right, I know the deck now looks bad, but he got Maxi. Now, we have a Maxi of our own, but Mobile X has already initiated some plays. The big question will be, will Mobile X go for game under Maxi? You know that the Yummy player is feeling weak right now. They have a Bricked Habakiri in hand. We don't know about the other cards. We have to assume that there's 3 other hand traps here. On the activation of Rahu, we're going to chain the Maxi, and now we have the big play. Now, Famina is going to ensure that they do not get to draw. And what can you do with Famina? You can optionally make the Rahu illegal to resolve. If this illegally
I don't think
is
they're playing any
resolving,
blue.
they're not
Plus,
going to
there
draw a card
aren't
at all
that
from Maxi
many.
if we
There
use
are
all
no
the
blue
monsters from our
signies.
hand. Because this requires something in your hand to use as fusion material, otherwise it does nothing. We are doing that. We are denying the Maxi draw 1. No draw 1 for you. Rahu does not use the deck nor a monster in the hand. Let's return back our Ash Blossom and Maxi. Does this mean we're not going for lethal damage here? 0 draws for the Maxi, but 1 more body. Just 2,000 more damage and you'd win. Add back the Ash. Add back the Maxi. We're not doing anything else. That's it. Just poke them for 6k, play it nice and easy, maintain all of our disruptions, don't get caught off guard by anything wild. And now we can return a monster back, negate a spell, banish in the grave, negate with Ash, hit them with the Maxi, the same Maxi. Return 1, recycle back in the hand. Back-to-back Maxi. Prep. Grabbing our mirror plus our Habakiri here. And let's now summon a Saji to give us the Mitsurugi ritual. Over the grave, finger the Maxi. As we now.
What am I
Saji
looking at?
As we're going to do full combo. Uninterrupted. They cannot Famina. They need another monster in hand. If anything, they maybe could have activated Famina to try to bait the called by. They try to finger Famina, then you chain Maxi. But, I mean, you'd have to have insane foresight to make that play. Oh, and you'd be wasting Famina if you wanted to chain Maxi anyway. Now, what is the combo? If you have an undisrupted pre-preparation of rights, this is it. Write this down if you want to play Yummy Mitsurugi. Rare is going to be further reborning back onto the field as we now make our zombie vampire. Zombie Vampire is going to mail 4 cards off of both players here as we link off into a Yummy Snatchy. Yummy Snatchy, were we supposed to put this in the extra monster zone? I think so, to make a gravity controller if we play that. If not, we could just turn into a Camellia. So we're not playing gravity controller, are playing Camellia, so it did not matter if it was in the extra monster zone or not. So just be understanding that we are playing this and Camellia. It's not, Camellia's not replacing this, it's in addition. Go, Cupsy, Yummy Way is going to be searching our deck for 2 bodies. Discard 1. Special summon the Cupsy, grabbing the Yummy Surprise. Special summon the Cookie, which will be a disruption during the opponent's turn. Further link off to now make the Lollipo. Lollipo, reborn 2 bodies from the graveyard, as we're going to Sorrow Cat. Sorrow Cat, plus a level 1, making the Herald of Arc Light. And we now have Sprite Elf pointing to the Herald of Arc Light. This should be an auto win against Draco Tail. Let's think about the outs. How do you beat this? Well, you're going to have to by battle, right? Or you're going to have a Malulu on the field, because only cards from the hand or deck get banished when sent to the grave. So none of them trigger, no follow-up, no pop, no negate, and then your core play would be Arthalion, which targets the Herald but can't be targeted, so then you go to battle. How are we going to protect this from battle? If we attack into it, we could use the Prayers to Reborn Murakumo to wipe out the monster trying to attack into it by battle. You have Yummy Surprise plus the Elf here, which is actually not going to help. The Prayers will just tank it. That's it. Auto win. GG no re.
So there's more.
Cool.
Oh, right. It ain't time yet. Fuck. Oh shit. Also, I forgot. Hmm.
Tank it. That's it. Auto win. GG no re. Artesia, activate, full loss, mate. Rico Tail doesn't really care about Maxi or full loss anyway. You resolve one good fusion, you set 2 traps from the deck potentially, and you're good. Now, Mobile X may even want to commit to another summon, which will be punished by a second copy of full loss. Otherwise, just very simply, set up our double traps and be happy. Nina, trap number 1, trap number 2, we set the flame, and we're great. Lots of plays here off of a single draw. And this is what I've been continually saying. You hate Maxi, if you hate Full Loss, play Draco Tail, they do not care. Return back a monster. Banish from the grave. Negate a spell. We can pop a monster with a pan, we can fusion someone, we can banish the Magnum Hunt. We have about 6 forms of disruption. Lost in the draw phase before the Cartesia or the Femina are activatable. Reprep. Now, is another copy activatable? Let's read this. You can only activate one pre-prep. This is not negating the activation, thus the other copy is a brick. It's okay. We have 2 plays. 2 separate plays. Get the draw card here. Or no, they don't, because they don't have a Draco Tail card in the graveyard to return back, or banishment. Saji activate, searching for the Mitsurugi ritual. Let's ritual, tribute off the Habakiri to summon our Murakumo. Murakumo on summon, non-target, wipe away the opposing field. We also have the Habakiri in graveyard, further search in our deck for a prayers. Or a mirror, since the pre-prep didn't search for the mirror. Tributing off the Murakumo for Habakiri, which now the Murakumo will be searching for the prayers as it reborns back onto the field. But we got the Magnum Hunt, and you do not have a prayers mate. Also, hey, this is what happens. The Hornet Drones is not activatable, and, we really got caught with our pants down. That is unfortunate. Or, the prayers still goes through the banishment, but does the prayers have anything to reborn? Yeah, we get prayers reborn, still make Camellia, and then we get Hornet Drones. We still have plays. Prayers will not activate this turn yet. So why does it look like we're passing? We went to battle phase already? What's going on? Pay 800, reborn, put the 2 bodies, and make our full combo. We're doing it in main phase 2 instead. Okay. Tsunagi, add back the Murakumo. Camellia, and this is a spell speed 1. It's slow. So the thought for Mobile X is that he needs time to activate this card, so we're going to bounce it back before it activates, denying them the Hornet Drones, but then they could still full combo with the Hornet Drones. Or maybe we just let him dump it. If you let him dump it, then we could use Sting. Sting normally isn't really a good disruption, but this targets a spell and a monster, so we could target the Hornet Drones engrave when Kagari tries to add it back, another way to deny their play. Multiple plays to stop this. And so the horn is what we think is stopping the Hornet drones, but we already have it. And then, as I just said, the Sting stops the drones. Nuts. Well done for Mobile X. Under a full loss also. There you go. Draco Tail Clappage. Insane. Maxi and Fua will pretty much never ruin the duel for the Draco Tail player. Then they have the insane push with Branded Fusion in addition to all their other plays. Disgusting. Absolutely disgustingly good. And, I mean, Bori's hand was great, was it not? Had multiple different lines of plays, but every single response they had stopped us. Let's go. Cookie, have crossout designate negate. The Veil could not stop the crossout. It would be able to stop a called by. Negate. Roll Lockbird against Yummy. How good is it? It's not very good. It will deny a Yummy surprise being searched for, and that's pretty much it. You know, it's decent. Yon is taking a gamble here. Any other Yummy in the hand plays through this. And Labatros is like, I don't care. I'm going to take that chance. They have how many other Yummies? 10 other Yummies. And they could have a Yummy surprise. So it'd be like 11 other cards. They could even have Hornet Drones to further play through this. I just can't believe we're not playing through this. Ghost Spell actually ending our turn. Insane. Purge is set. Now, there's a downside to using Purge on turn 0, which is your next turn you can't Little Knight, you can't Kagari. Let's see what happens here. Rahu Draco Tail, which the Purge cannot negate. Now, the key 2, when you have a body on the field and the key 2 is being used to search and fuse, that's a really good Purge hit. Arthalion's going to return back the Engrave, Ghost Spell, and Femina, as Urgula's going to non-target pop a back row card. Impermanent negate the Arthalion for recycling, as Labatros has a random chance to take out the Purge, which could have been left in the hand, but then it would have had the downside we talked about. Wow. Purge was supposed to stop Key 2. Now, if Imperm instead, what the heck was that? A 50% chance. YOLO flipped the coin, and I think that coin flip wins the duel. That's it. Lucius can get negated by Impermanence. Negate the Impermate. Mignon cannot attempt to reborn from the grave again until we can make a Link 1. Now, any card we draw into it's a monster could be a Link 1 because of Almirage. We could top deck into an Ash Blossom, normal summon, Almirage, then reborn. The problem is, if you understand how the Mignon works, you're not going to wait. If they summon a hand trap turn into an Almirage, this is not a trigger effect. It has to be activated in the open game state. Don't let them go into the open game state. In response to the summon, bounce it back and you automatically win. Could Yusuf even top deck into? That's pretty good. Two pushes. Push number 1 will just be with the Cupsy and a field spell. Push number 2 will be the Yummy surprise. So how should Labatros play around this?
I should have used this earlier.
And the Yummy Surprise does this target because we do have the Sting. Now, Yummy Surprise is non-target summon from the hand or graveyard. The opponent's asking, are you going to summon from the graveyard? I don't tell you until resolution. So I don't know what to banish with the Sting. Oh, okay, we're going to take out the Cookie Yummy and the Purge, but now we can special summon the Yummy Cupsy. Maybe Labatros thought he could only summon from the grave, because we now get to play through this. We get to get Cupsy in the grave, reborn it back. This was not a good use. So what is a good use of this? If the Yummy Surprise is non-target, the Mignon targets a monster in the graveyard, you would, I would say, banish the monster targeting. Now, the issue is, Cupsy was normal summoned this turn, so Cupsy, if we control Link 1, will just special summon on the field. This was just such an incredible top deck, I could not believe it. Holy moly, Yusuf on that top deck. it seems like whatever we would have done, we would have been able to play through it. Drew into a pan. Now we can't play through it. we can now destroy the Snatchy before summoning Cubsy. What the heck? We had it. So he knows that the Snatchy's going to get
We
destroyed.
live.
So we are going to be playing onto the field a crow. A crow will trigger if you do something to my Snatchy, and then I'll summon another body from the deck. So Yusuf is still playing through this. Not really, though, because the Ghoul Melt takes out the Crow, and the Pan takes out the Snatchy. Yeah, alright. So we are definitively stopped. Now it's over. No more Cope. Goodbye to your field spell, which will not trigger. Goodbye to your Snatchy. And the Cub Seed needed the Link 1 to be on the field to special summon. Definitively because we top decked into a freaking Pan. I cannot believe that. Is it now over? It's over. Oh. Actually close. Such a good top deck, the Cubsy itself, but then met with a top decked Pan. Let's go. In response to Cookie, we're going to get rid of the Cookie because we can't special summon our other Yummies if there is no Link 1 on the field, unless we have a Marshmallow. Marshmallow would be able to play through this. We're going to call by the Grave, finger that Famina. Now, this is where a Ghost Spell would be great to negate that call by the Grave. Finger, Famina, negate. Not today, mate. They still have Ash. They still have Droll. Droll not so good. Ash used on Cupsy to search will get cross-out designated. Oh boy, we got the plays. We got the ways. We are going to play the field spell from the hand, so why this even activate? It fades out a Veiler. They could have Veiler, they could waste Veiler, and then we'd play this from the hand. Ensuring that the Yummy Surprise is not in circulation in many ways is great, and knowing that all of that is about to happen, we're out of here. Fingered me, you cross-outed me. No thanks.
Man, should have played stuff that increases stuff. I mean, yeah, we're dead.